Today, my keynote is called Securing AI and the DevOps Lifecycle, from Risk Magnet to Trust Multiplier. One of the other ways that I thought to draft this presentation was to talk about securing AI as about guts, guardrails, and guidelines. So I want to talk quickly about why it is that this conversation, of course, as we know, has been the talk of the town. In fact, I was supposed to attend RSA, but those who I know went said that almost every product they saw spoke of having AI in it. It secured AI, or it was designed to replace people by using AI agents. And so I want to start with a story that I had been a part of. A lot of the work that I do today is about integrating and enabling cybersecurity to fuel the growth and the release of secure products. A lot of that work often requires that I'm meeting day to day with clients who are looking to move faster than AI even. So CISOs who understand that the transformation that will happen in cybersecurity will often start with insecure products. But one of the biggest things that we notice day in and day out is that the AI itself is actually introducing many vulnerabilities and threats at scale. So I want to talk to you about a story that came from a project that my team worked on with a nonprofit. This nonprofit operates like a high growth, really fast tech company. And so 2 Thursdays ago, we learned that a junior developer for a company that works primarily with refugee aid logistics, and so ultimately felt like that organization was under tremendous threat, was rushing to hit a sprint deadline. Under pressure, he unfortunately copied some of his credentials from a local file into a test script. The idea was that he wanted to test the script and run it just in QA. What he found is that he had planned to remove those credentials in the morning, but he actually didn't get a chance. Based on his process, he had installed that code, he had committed it. That code was then pushed to cloud, and it was moments away from being included in a production container. Fortunately, and because of the work we had been doing with them over the last several months before in introducing AI into their processes, nothing happened. In fact, they were surprised, the client, the developer himself was surprised. There was no breach, there was no leak, and there was no chaos, as had been the case previously. 5 weeks earlier, the organization had taken steps to deploy a really lightweight AI-operated DevOps agent. And it was part of the initiative that they had put together to secure their pipeline after an internal audit had noted several both inconsistencies and failings in their former DevOps lifecycle and processes. The org had been trained on how to meet new coding standards. They've been trained on how to manage secrets, and also have been trained to understand what mistakes look like in their repos. As the commit hit their pipeline, the AI agent flagged it in real time, blocked the release of it, and automatically generated a pull request. And what does that mean? So it essentially removed the ability for the dev to make what was a very, very simple mistake. The build, because of these steps, actually passed the test. That particular branch was able to be reviewed before it was merged into the final code. And no one outside of that tech services team, that engineering team, knew a thing. Here's why that matters. None of what happened was accidental. It was all done by design. It was done proactively because these kinds of mistakes, accidents, were happening on a regular basis. And it had nothing to do with an external hacker, nothing to do with malware. It had to do with having to move quickly, making quick decisions, and sometimes mistakes happening. What we're clear about, though, and why I want to start that as a story, is that there is no question that the power of AI and working at machine speeds, it can help us to identify risk. There is also no question that this idea of security by design is made possible by the intersection of AI and DevOps. But it also means that we can with very limited resourcing and security teams, embed security where the developers live, as opposed to requiring them to fit processes that serve us.